Get ready to take the bull by the horns. We're about to dive headfirst into the fascinating and unpredictable world of cattle. So brace yourself for a bunch of bulls and a load of steers. Who would have thought there were so many big ones out there? From some of the most unruly beasts in North America to the biggest and fattest king of the herd, here are the 20 rarest bulls in the world. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave your like. Now, let's get started. Number 1. The Batard Bull. After this entire journey exploring various breeds of bulls, it's time to talk about the largest of them all, the one that undoubtedly deserves the top spot, the Batard. For all of you lucky viewers who have a special passion for everything related to the world of cattle, I present to you the impressive Batard. It's a colossal bull, the largest and, without a doubt, the fattest on the planet. Belonging to the Rouge de Pré breed, as we've mentioned before, the Batard has an astonishing weight of 1,900 kilograms. What on earth are they feeding this giant? Seriously, it's truly impressive. The Batard is a true celebrity in France, especially among farmers, who admire him for his size and presence. He made his first appearance at the Paris International Agricultural Show in 2016, where he made a huge impact by establishing himself as the largest bull at the event. At that time, he was only 5.5 years old, but already amazed everyone with his massive and imposing body. Definitely not an animal you'd want to mess with, as he has enough strength to crush anyone who dares challenge him. Let's hope he stays friendly and calm, because believe me, this bull thing is no joke. He is undoubtedly huge, and it's even said that he is well endowed. And yes, I apologize for the puns on his name, but considering the size of this bull, the possibilities for funny puns are practically endless. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation on giant and impressive bulls. Number 2. Mura. The Mura is an impressive breed of water buffalo, with the somewhat unlikely scientific Latin name Bubulus or Bubulus. Perhaps it is precisely this imposing aspect, combined with other remarkable characteristics, that makes this buffalo an especially popular choice for milk production. In fact, this is the animal that holds the world record for the highest milk production, with the impressive mark of 58.06 pounds of milk collected from a single Mura buffalo on a dairy farm in Punjab. Muras are mainly kept for milk production in much of the world, except in Brazil, where they are also used for meat. These buffaloes have a deep black coat with distinct white markings on their face and legs, and one of the most notable features of the Mura is its neck. The neck of the Mura is thick and robust, while in females, it tends to be thinner and longer. Males typically weigh around 550 kilograms, while females weigh around 450 kilograms. Although not the most imposing in terms of size, it is precisely for this reason that the Mura is so renowned for its ability to produce abundant milk, rather than being considered a beast of meat, like other breeds. Number 3. Normand. These cattle have a fascinating history, originally brought to the Normandy region in northern France between the 9th and 10th centuries by the feared Viking invaders. Over time, more than 1,000 years later, the original Viking stock adapted and was crossbred with other cattle breeds, resulting in what we now know as the Normand. The modern version of this breed can be traced back to around 1883, and it remained popular until the 20th century. However, when the Allies invaded Normandy during World War II, the Normand cattle population was almost entirely destroyed due to the horrors of the war. Fortunately, the breed was revived, and today, the Normand cattle population is back to healthy numbers, with around 3 million specimens in France alone. The Normand is widely recognized for its versatility, being an excellent breed for both milk and meat production. The milk of these cows is especially valued, used in the production of renowned cheeses, and as you know, France takes its cheese very seriously, which is a clear indication of its exceptional quality. In other parts of the world, especially in the United States, the Normand is highly regarded for the superior quality of its meat, often described as having excellent carcass quality. Although it is a medium-sized breed, the Normand bull is an imposing animal with a large body circumference. These bulls typically weigh between 900 and 1,100 kilograms, while the females, more delicate, range from 550 to 680 kilograms. Number 4. Pinsgower. With such a captivating and attention-grabbing name, we can expect this breed of bull to have something truly exciting to show us, right? The Pinsgower originates from Austria, and in fact, if you look into its history, you can trace its roots back to the Celtic period around 800 BC in what is now Austria. At least this breed has a fascinating story to tell, and guess what? These cattle are widely recognized for their exceptional meat qualities. A description that certainly catches the eye, don't you think? The bulls of the Pinsgower breed are extremely robust animals, with an impressive weight that can easily exceed 900 kilograms. The females, while smaller, are equally imposing, ranging from 450 to 725 kilograms. What really makes this breed stand out from the others are its fine and slender legs. The hooves of the Pinsgower are exceptionally strong, allowing the breed to cover long distances with ease. Additionally, these animals have a unique reddish coat that provides valuable protection against extreme temperatures, both heat and cold, as well as offering additional defense against the effects of UV radiation. With all these resilient characteristics, these animals can survive even the harshest and most challenging weather conditions that the Austrian mountains can offer. Number 5. German Angus. Now, you can probably start to imagine how this breed came about, right? It might seem a bit tricky at first, but try to push through. Exactly, you got it. The German Angus is what we call the German Angus. It results from the crossbreeding of native German cattle with the renowned Aberdeen Angus. Not much of a mystery, right? Now, what can we expect from such an imposing bull? Does it fly or perhaps know how to dance? Well, in reality, it doesn't have those abilities. It's basically like any other bull on this list. Who hasn't come across these curiosities? The German Angus is actually a beef cattle breed, and its main purpose is to produce high-quality meat, just as expected. The reason for the crossbreeding between the German cow and the Angus is clear: to create a stronger, larger, and more robust animal. After all, that's the common goal for any breeder, right? Number 6. Charolais. The Charolais is a historic breed originating from the central region of France and known since the 16th century, although it had been present in some form since 878 AD. Like many other European breeds, the Charolais was raised for various purposes, including draft, milk, and meat production. Initially, this breed was predominantly white, but today it is also possible to find Charolais specimens in black and red colors, expanding its diversity. This bull is undoubtedly one of the largest and most imposing. Charolais cattle have an impressive muscular structure, with a wide and deep body, a pinkish snout, and light-colored hooves. Their muscles are particularly strong in the lumbar and hip regions, standing out for their ability to produce high-quality meat. When it comes to meat, the Charolais is widely recognized as one of the best in the world, highly valued for its marbled meat and excellent carcass yield. The breed is also distinguished by its high meat yield rate, including characteristics such as the ideal fat depth, color, and texture of the meat. Number 7. Bazadais. Originating from the town of Bazadais in the southwest of France, the Bazadais is an animal known for its incredible adaptability. These cattle can live in a wide variety of environmental conditions, from plains to mountainous regions, being capable of inhabiting pastures at impressive heights of 2,200 meters. Their resistance to climate is remarkable, as these cattle seem indifferent to both intense heat and harsh cold. In addition, the Bazadais have a natural system of protection against ticks, which makes them even more robust and well prepared to face the challenges of the environment. Historically, the Bazadais was a versatile and resilient working breed, used for various tasks on farms. However, with the rise in meat consumption, this cattle began to be raised primarily for meat production, which is considered of excellent quality. Its meat is famous for being low in fat but highly marbled, making it incredibly flavorful, ideal for those who appreciate a juicy and well-defined cut. Number 8. Limousin. The Limousin is a cattle breed with a long history, perfect for that farmer looking for an animal that requires little effort. In fact, it's possible that the Limousin is the closest relative to the cattle depicted in ancient cave paintings with more than 20,000 years of history. This makes the breed one of the oldest and undoubtedly one of the most adaptable over time. Living in natural grazing conditions, the Limousin was traditionally used as a draft animal and valued for its incredibly tasty and high-quality meat. These large, muscular cattle have impressive resilience, so much so that throughout history, they were often left to fend for themselves, even during the harshest winter months, when many other cattle in European climates would need to be housed in sheltered barns. It's no surprise that this breed has survived so well and spread to various parts of the world, gaining breeders across continents. Now, if you're wondering about the size of a Limousin bull, the average weight is around 1,000 kilograms of pure muscle mass. The imposing size of these bulls is further highlighted by their robust and impressive physical structure, making them true giants in the cattle world. Number 9. Maine Anju. This is a cow that has gone through several names throughout its history, but in the end, what truly matters is that this breed stands out for its remarkable docility and the excellent quality of meat it produces. Oh, and it's also important to mention that the bulls of this breed can reach impressive sizes, weighing up to 1,100 kilograms or more. These cattle originated from the northwestern region of France, where they were initially known as Maine Anju. Nowadays, these cattle are more commonly known as Rouge de Pré, but in the past, the cattle in this region were called Mansell. Their history is quite interesting, as these cows were especially popular among breeders due to the ease with which they fattened and the high demand for their meat, making them quite profitable. So, a French landowner, always looking for more efficiency and profit, thought that these qualities could be further enhanced. That's when he started a breeding program aimed at intensifying these traits. The breed chosen to be crossed with the Mansell was the English Durham. For a while, the cows resulting from this cross were still called, wait for it, Mansell. Yes, I know, it's funny, right? But the name didn't last long, as it didn't have a sufficiently French touch. So, breeders began their journey of name changes, an effort to make them sound more sophisticated as they spread around the world. Eventually, the breed became very popular, not only in France, but also in international markets such as the United States, Canada, Australia, as well as new markets like New Zealand and the United Kingdom. Number 10. Braford. Once again we have hybrids with their combined names. It seems cows started mixing their names long before popular celebrities began creating funny surnames with their spouses. The Braford is a great example of this, with its name being a fusion of the Hereford Bull and the ever-admired Brahman. Now, it seems I fully understand what they did here. A very clever and effective breeding trick. The Braford breed was originally developed by a group of breeding enthusiasts in Florida in 1947. However, it wasn't so easy. It took several attempts before they got the perfect combination, as the first versions had serious vision problems and leg difficulties, in addition to not adapting well to Florida's hot and humid climate. But fortunately, after some time, they managed to correct these undesirable flaws and began producing calves that truly met their needs and the desired standards. Oh, what a great fun! The Braford has a vibrant red coloration, with its head, belly, and legs showing a distinct white. Its robust and strong appearance comes largely from the genetic influence of the Brahman, while its coloring comes from the Hereford heritage. These bulls are usually bred for meat production, but occasionally some are chosen to act as rodeo bulls, which gives them a small reprieve from the butcher's knife. The female cows of this breed are notably known for their excellent mothering ability and for being very good at milking, capable of producing both calves and milk for a significantly longer period than other breeds. Well, for them, that's all quite a great benefit. Number 11. Montbelliard. Well, how's everyone doing on this exciting roller coaster of exploring the biggest and most impressive bulls in the world? It's been fun, right? Who would have thought there were so many giant bulls out there? And to keep delighting your eyes fascinated by cattle, here's another imposing breed, the Montbelliard. Yes, as you've probably guessed, this is a typically French cow. And believe it or not, French cows don't do the traditional moo. No, these bovines are much more sophisticated creatures and instead let out a soft and distinct Gallic croon. Seriously, it's true. Now let's leave the animal sounds aside and focus on the impressive characteristics of this great bull. Until the mid-19th century, the breed was known as Alsatian, but then it went through an identity crisis and was rebranded with a much more elegant name, Montbelliard. Whatever the name, the truth is that this cow has a remarkable ability. It's responsible for producing the milk used to make some of the most famous and beloved cheeses in France, such as Emmental and Gruyère. So honestly, it deserves some very special recognition. A medal would be the least. While it's widely known for its milk production, and just in case you didn't know, bulls, of course, don't produce milk, there is also a market for the meat from the males of this breed. Unfortunately, many of these bulls are turned into veal while still very young, at only 3 months old, while others live a slightly longer life, reaching 14 or 15 months before being slaughtered. So, despite being bulls of considerable size, the reality is that most of these animals don't live long enough to find out just how big they could really become. And that, for sure, can leave anyone in a bad mood, or sour the mint, as we'd say in a very French way. Number 12. South Devon. Originating from a specific area in Devon called South Hams, the South Devon breed should not be confused with the neighboring region of North Devon. I know you wouldn't make that mistake, but these two regions are as distinct as the opposite ends of a compass. The South Devon breed has a long history, having existed and been cultivated for at least 400 years. Over the course of its history, these cattle have made notable appearances, including a significant historical role. In 1620, they were aboard the famous Mayflower, the ship that carried the Pilgrims to America. Moreover, they played a key role in supplying the British Royal Navy during the intense Napoleonic Wars. Although they had been found in foreign lands for centuries, the South Devon breed only spread and gained popularity across the rest of the United Kingdom during the 20th century. Today, the South Devon is almost exclusively bred for meat production, though it was used for milk production until shortly after the end of World War II, demonstrating the breed's versatility over time. The South Devon is the largest among the British bull breeds, with an impressive and muscular build. These cattle mature later compared to other breeds, contributing to their robust stature. They commonly have horns and can be easily identified by their wavy, intense coat, which has a vibrant red hue with coppery undertones. The skin of these bulls is thick and very loose, making them even more notable. Additionally, they are widely known for the quality of their lean meat, which is highly valued in the food industry. Number 13. Simmonl. These impressive cattle can trace their origins back to the Middle Ages, or at least they could if they had the interest and curiosity to visit the library and research their family tree, which obviously isn't something you'd expect from a bull. Anyway, the Simmonl breed is a direct result of the crossbreeding between large German cattle and a smaller breed native to Switzerland, which created a strong and impressive lineage. The breed's name was inspired by the Simmonl Valley, located in the beautiful Bernese Oberland Mountains in Switzerland, where these cattle were originally bred. They are known for their considerable size, but let's face it, most cattle are really large, especially when they approach you with that curious and enthusiastic look that any big animal can have. These large bulls often weigh in at impressive figures of up to 1,300 kilograms and can reach heights of nearly 1.65 meters. With dense, well-developed muscles, these cattle have an imposing presence, and their robust appearance can undoubtedly be quite intimidating. So, it's best to think twice before attempting to jump fences to enter the fields where these bulls roam. Also, be careful where you decide to lay your picnic blanket the next time you're planning an impromptu fondue in some lovely Swiss valley. Make sure to stay clear of the fields of these giants. Number 14. Parthonos. The Parthonos is believed to be one of the oldest and most traditional cattle breeds in France, with a history dating back centuries. Originally, the Parthonos was primarily bred for its excellent quality milk, which was used in butter production. However, in 1970, there was a significant shift in the breeding philosophy when the Breed Society decided to focus its efforts on producing cattle with an emphasis on high-quality meat. Now, I can certainly imagine that the cows were extremely thrilled about this change in focus. Today, the Parthonos is especially valued for its meat qualities, and when I say valued, it's really the exact term to be used. The qualities of these cows are rigorously evaluated based on various factors, including carcass yield, net yield, bone structure, and of course the tenderness of the meat, which is one of the most important aspects for consumers. Looking at these criteria gives us an interesting perspective on meat production and animal management in general. At least, it's something that makes me reflect deeply. After all, we are so accustomed to seeing meat already packaged and ready for consumption in supermarkets, it makes us think twice when imagining that, before all of this, it was actually walking around, being meticulously evaluated for its qualities, which sheds new light on the process. Anyway, of course, this reflection can be somewhat morbid and even appetite dampening, so to keep from losing our appetite, let's focus back on the grandeur of these animals while they're still alive and ready to impress us. And yes, they are undoubtedly large. Although not as robust as the imposing Belgian Blue bulls, which can easily exceed 1,270 kilograms, the Parthonos cows still reach an impressive 900 kilograms, which is certainly a considerable size. Number 15. Brangus. Now, would you believe it? Let me introduce you to the Brangus, a name so creatively coined that, as the name itself suggests, it's a clever blend of the two great breeds, Brahman and Angus. Who could have imagined, right? In fact, it's a breed combination that makes perfect sense, given the qualities each brings to the table. Today, genetic experts have demonstrated such skill in the genetic manipulation of these animals that Brangus bulls have a fairly balanced genetic composition, being 3/8 Brahman and 5/8 Angus. The logic behind this mix is that the Brahman possesses a number of extremely advantageous traits, such as disease resistance and greater adaptation to hot and harsh climates, while the Angus is, well, famous for being an incredibly flavorful breed, renowned for the quality of its meat. Thus, the union of these two breeds aims to create the ideal cattle, or as some would say, the perfect cattle, focused on the quality and efficiency of livestock farming. The development of this hybrid breed was mainly carried out in the United States, with the focus on the Brangus breed during the 1930s, and since then, this breed has spread and established itself, remaining one of the most sought after to this day. The Brangus retains the loose skin of the Brahman, which helps in temperature regulation and resistance to various diseases. They also feature a bit of that distinctive hump characteristic of the Brahman, as well as a good dose of the genetic disease resistance from this breed. On the other hand, they inherit the robust build and rapid growth capabilities of the Angus, along with its lean meat, which is highly valued in the market. Number 16. Aberdeen Angus. Although these impressive bulls originated in Scotland, which justifies the name Aberdeen, they are widely known for the exceptional quality of their meat, especially in nobly valued cuts, such as filet mignon, which are true culinary delicacies. In addition to their juicy and flavorful meat, Aberdeen Angus is also famously known for being bred without horns, which makes handling and caring for these animals much easier and safer for both farmers and the cattle themselves. The name of this breed is now undoubtedly recognized worldwide, and the Angus breed, as it's known outside the UK, has become one of the most popular and sought after on the vast plains of the United States, where it holds a prominent position in the production of high-quality beef. These bulls certainly top the hierarchy, ranking among the largest and most refined in terms of quality in the global market. They are admired not only for the meat they produce, but also for their remarkable genetic heritage. Most of the bulls of this breed alive today can trace their lineage directly back to a pair of particularly prolific breeders, known as Old Jock and Old Granny, who lived in the 19th century and played a crucial role in the perpetuation and improvement of the breed. The history of the Aberdeen Angus is rich and fascinating, even leading these bulls to become friends of royalty, not only gracing the dining tables of the aristocracy, but also participating in royal events. In 1876, a notable Aberdeen Angus named Black Prince won the top prize at the renowned Birmingham and Smithfield shows, resulting in an invitation for him to be personally inspected by Queen Victoria at Windsor Castle. Now, I know it may seem a bit unusual, but considering the peculiarities of royal customs, it's not all that surprising. The fact is, the situation became even more bizarre when the prize-winning Black Prince himself was packaged and turned into small cuts of meat, which were sent back to the Queen for Christmas. Sometimes it seems like it's just not worth it to be the bull that stands out at exhibitions. Number 17. Chianina. When cattle are considered the largest of their species, you know things will never end well for the animals involved, especially when it comes to their relationship with humans. A large cow is basically more meat to be turned into juicy steaks, tasty burgers, or even pastrami, which isn't a good prospect if you aim to reach adulthood without ending up as food. However, as with everything in life, the title of the largest cattle breed in the world has to go to someone, and unfortunately, the winner of this sad death sentence is the Chianina breed. These gigantic cows, with their massive bodies, were developed in the Italian regions of Lazio, Umbria, and Tuscany over the past 2 millennia. In fact, they were initially bred as working animals, being quite useful for various agricultural tasks. Their powerful bodies were perfectly adapted to pull heavy plows, carts, and other farming tools across the rugged and uneven terrain of central Italy's mountainous regions. However, with the industrialization of farming and the mechanization of the fields, the use of these cows as draft animals was progressively phased out, which, unfortunately, meant a major setback for these cows, as their immense bodies began to be seen as ideal for the famous bistecca alla Fiorentina, or Florentine steak, for those who are unfamiliar. And it's easy to understand why. These powerful cows can reach an impressive 1,600 kilograms or more and heights of up to 2 meters, which translates to an enormous amount of meat. Number 18. Belgian Blue. Basically, almost all types of cows and horses considered fancy are genetically modified in some way. Selective breeding, a technique that dates back to ancient times, is a process used to develop breeds that are more resistant, faster, or even to produce better quality meat. However, today we carry out this practice with sophisticated laboratory equipment, like white coats and petri dishes, rather than a farmer in a field with a few cows and a simple fence. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but the Belgian Blue isn't exactly what I would call blue. At least not in the literal sense, like the sky or a sparkling sapphire. While this might be a bit sad, it's a shame, as it just looks like an ordinary cow to me. However, what's undeniable is that this is clearly an animal of extreme robustness. The Belgian Blue breed is by far the most muscular of all cattle breeds, literally bred to be as chubby as possible, with the goal of gaining weight quickly and producing large, juicy cuts of meat. These cattle typically weigh an average of around 1,225 kilograms or even more, which equals a lot of meat. These animals were originally derived from a stock with a specific genetic mutation that apparently results in very lean meat with less fat. When you start to dig deeper into this process, it actually seems more like a horror story, doesn't it? And yes, once again, we can observe how humans have manipulated the physiology of these animals to gain more benefits for ourselves. This, by the way, is the recurring pattern with all these oversized animals. They don't reach uncomfortably large sizes without human intervention, right? Number 19. Brahman. One of the most remarkable adaptations that gave the Brahman an advantage in its natural environment is its incredible ability to reflect a significant amount of sunlight, allowing these animals to graze peacefully during the hottest hours of the day. This factor, combined with their excessively loose skin and a significantly higher number of sweat glands compared to other breeds, enables these cattle to stay cool even under high temperatures, while being constantly sweaty. Additionally, the Brahman has the ability to produce an oily secretion on its skin that acts as a natural insect repellent. This defense mechanism is effective in protecting the animals from bites and irritations caused by these small insects. These creatures have a very distinctive aroma, something that is undeniable and definitely worth noting. Number 20. Texas Longhorn. The Texas Longhorn is a breed of cattle that was originally developed in America. Its ancestors were bovines that arrived on the American continent about 500 years ago, shaped over time through a natural selection process. In other words, the few cows that survived the early and tough years of adaptation, while the rest of the development seems to have been largely due to the incredible ability of these animals to adapt to the wild and challenging environment. In fact, there is a claim that this cattle managed to fully adapt to the unique and inhospitable landscape of America without any human intervention. However, this idea is somewhat controversial, as it is important to remember we're talking about a domesticated breed that, over time, has been fed and cared for by humans. But, of course, what I know about this is what I share on the internet. During the Civil War era, when the buffalo population in North America was nearly wiped out, the Texas Longhorn was introduced to the vast, empty plains to graze and occupy the open areas. It was precisely this crucial role that made the Texas Longhorn the leading beef cattle breed in the United States, achieving prominence and prosperity. Today, Texas Longhorns are less likely to resemble their historical ancestors, as they have been extensively bred by humans, selected for traits that favor productivity and docility rather than their natural qualities of resilience and longevity. Therefore, while these animals still retain some physical similarities with their ancestors, they are far from being like they once were in terms of robustness and adaptability. But undoubtedly, what really stands out in these cattle are their impressive horns. Not only because they have remarkably wide horns on their heads, averaging at least 1.2 meters in width, but in some cases, these horns can even reach an impressive 1.8 meters in length. They are truly a distinctive feature of the breed. Additionally, these bulls are also highly active when it comes to reproduction. Heifers, for example, can begin reproducing at just 16 months of age, and this breed has a reproductive cycle that lasts twice as long as any other cattle breed. And of course, there's no doubt that, when it comes to their horns, they have no issues or limitations. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed our content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Don't forget to check out other interesting content appearing on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. See you next time.